Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is January 21st, 2024. The S&P 500 finally closed at new all-time highs, exceeding its level from late 2021. And what matters even more is that the index continues to make a series of higher lows and higher highs, or in other words, it's in an uptrend. Tech stocks continue to notably lead, especially the so-called Magnificent Seven minus Tesla. They're all up anywhere between 5 to 20% year to date. Obviously, NVIDIA, AMD are leading the charge. The two biggest beneficiaries of the AI frenzy. Small caps are still down 3-4% on the year. They're still lagging behind. They pull back to their rising 50-day moving average last week. And for me personally, to get involved with them, with Russell 2000, I would like to see them making a higher high, like going back up above 197. Earnings season has just begun. Last week was all about AI, I would say. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, which is the biggest manufacturer of chips in the world. They make the chips for NVIDIA, for AMD, for Apple, for anyone you can think of. Like 90% of the world manufacturing happens there. They crushed earnings estimates, and they confirmed that the semiconductor industry is out of recession. And one of the major driving forces for that is the demand for AI-related chips, which as of right now is mostly NVIDIA, but there are also some other companies creating products in that sphere. So anyway, that huge report from TSM lifted the entire semiconductor industry on Thursday. SMH, the semiconductor index, made new all-time highs. And if you just zoom out and go back 20 years out, you can see that, since 2010 or so, this is the only ETF that is absolutely crushing the QQQ. Anything else is just so far behind or just barely catching up with QQQ. So it's been one wild decade for semiconductors, and it just, with AI and spatial computing, it seems that we'll see more of it. And as semiconductor stocks become bigger and a more important part of many investors' portfolios. So big gap in semis on Thursday. We saw big moves in like Broadcom, even Intel bounced. Obviously, NVIDIA and AMD also followed through, which brings me to a point I wanted to address earlier, is that at the beginning of last week, we saw a quick shakeout here. It was only a 4-day work week, trading week. And we saw a quick shakeout under the 20-day EMA on the S&P. And so that earnings from TSM basically changed the direction of the market. The S&P bounced back and finished strongly the week. And then the next day on Friday, we had another huge report from an AI-related stock, Supermicro. They crushed estimates again, raised guidance, and broke out to new all-time highs, and they just kept going up the entire day. If you just pull up like a short-term chart, like let's say like a 5-minute chart, you can see that they just kept going up and up and up above their 20-day period moving average on a 5-minute chart. So super strong uptrend. They just kept rising the entire day. So AI is still the hottest topic in the market, and it seems it's bringing a lot of growth to many companies. And now that Apple is releasing their Apple Vision Pro, it seems that spatial computing might become another hot topic. And guess what? The biggest beneficiaries again are many of the Magnificent Seven, like Google and Microsoft and Amazon, and they're all continuing to either set up for potential breakout, just like Amazon is here, or they just continue to make higher lows, higher highs, and lead the market high. Obviously, NVIDIA, big beneficiary on spatial computing, but also some smaller chips like Form Factor also closed at new 52-week highs, not too far from new all-time highs. But also some of the smaller companies like Yonq, or if you're more conservative, you can just consider an ETF like Quantum. So we have a bunch of reports next week. And it will be interesting to see the market reaction. For me, the topic so far this earnings season is just AI. Any company that is remotely related to AI is crushing earnings estimates, and the market is rewarding that. That's all for me.